Yes, I know you want to come into Canada, and you wouldn't want to come into Canada and leaving your family back home in your own country. When you come to Canada, you want to do everything possible to come with your family, or if possible, you arrive first, and after some time, your family will join you, right? So in this video, I will be explaining to you how you can bring your family into Canada after you arrive, or if you want to come with your family directly with you when you come into Canada.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get.
Talking about international students, most international students apply for their visas either directly by adding their spouse and their children directly in their visa while applying, while some other international students rather get into Canada by applying only for their visa, and after some time then they will apply for their family. So basically it depends on how financial buoyant you are, and if you do not want financial stress, or if you don't mind the financial stress. So for the benefit of those ones who are financially buoyant and can foot the bill, so what they do is when they apply for their visa, they add their spouse, and then they also add every other member of their family, the kids. You all know that when you're applying as an international student, you need to show a proof of fund of about 10 to 12,000 Canadian dollars, right? So if you're applying with your family, you want every member of your family to come with you. So you need to show that 10,000 Canadian dollars for yourself. You need to show 4,000 Canadian dollars for your spouse. And then for each child that you have, you need to show 3,000 Canadian dollars. So for you, 10,000, for your spouse 4,000, that's 14,000 Canadian dollars minimum. If you have one child, 14 plus 3 is 17,000 Canadian dollars. If you have two children, it will be 20,000 Canadian dollars minimum. Okay, so let's assume you have two kids, 20,000 Canadian dollars. That does not mean you just have to show only 20,000 Canadian dollars. That is the minimum. You should show more than above, so that you will be able to convince the visa officer that when you get there, you will be able to survive without putting a burden on the Canadian government, because that's why it's called the living expenses, the proof of fund that you can be able to take care of yourself and every single member of your family. Okay, and then the other way, if you don't have that money at the moment, like you're not financially buoyant and you're stressed financially, so in this case what you do is this: you as an international student will come into the country on your own, and then when you arrive into the country, you can now start making plans for your family to join you, right? So while making plans for your family to join you, you can just live an easy life. You can stay in a shared apartment with someone where you need to pay $500, $600 for a month. You can save up lots of money. You can use the opportunity to get to know more about the country, check more about the schools, know what kind of job you would do, know what kind of job even your husband would do when he comes into the country, so that by the time your family join you, everything is settled. You know where and where to go to get things that you need for your family, and how to help your family to settle down. So what people do is this: in this case, they show their living expenses of minimum of $10,000. Then since it's just one person, you can go ahead to show $11,000 or $12,000. I think that's quite perfect for an individual. And then when you arrive Canada, then your family can go ahead to apply for their own visa. And then when your family is applying for their own visa, the financial stress is less, because your husband must have worked for some time, and you also can send him some money, right? And then he can go ahead and apply. For himself is 4,000 Canadian dollars. For each child, it is 3,000 Canadian dollars. So if it is one child that family has, so it's like 7,000 Canadian dollars. And if 2 children, it is 10,000 Canadian dollars. And then you go ahead and apply, but still don't go and put only that 10,000 or 7,000 Canadian dollars. Do good to add a little bit above that amount, so that you can have 8 to 9 or 10 to 12 Canadian dollars, and then you make your application, and in 5 weeks hopefully you will get result, as the visas is going to be approved, and then your family will join you. Your spouse can decide to work for some number of months and you yourself on the other hand can decide to work for some number of months, and then the both of you can combine your salaries and your earnings together so that they can go ahead to apply for their visas. And then I made mention of the sharing apartments. So for the sharing apartments, it's just like a flat, like a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom apartment where different people come together to share the bills and foot the bill of that apartment. So the bills will include the house rent, it will include electricity bill, it will include the water bill, it will also include the Wi-Fi, it will include snow removal if any, depending on the weather, and some other times it includes the Wi-Fi services, although some house owners do not usually add the Wi-Fi, so it could include any of those. So if you get in a good place here, so that's the amount you're going to get, between $500 and $700, and the rent is usually made on the 1st of every month. And then for those ones who would be coming with their family directly, you can come and stay in an Airbnb for a few days, and in those few days, or at least in that 1 week, we should be able to get apartments. So there are several housing agents here in Canada. When you go to your Google or to your map, just put housing estate or house management near me, so it will pop up, and then you can start checking for houses. So you can go for studio, you can go for 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedrooms, or 4 bedrooms, but as you can afford. But just know that the prices will be quite different depending on the provinces where you stay, because you cannot compare the prices of housing in Toronto or in Ontario to the prices of housing in Saskatchewan or in New Brunswick. Of course, in smaller communities, the houses are quite cheaper than the houses in the big cities. So you have to check which city your spouse got the school in and know how to settle down in that area. It will also give you time to know where to get to the groceries. You know where the African food shops are if you're African. If you're not African, you know where you have the other grocery stores that can provide food that you and your family to eat. Because most times when people come into Canada for the first time, one of the reasons why they have difficulty in settling down is because they don't get to eat the kind of food they are used to. So this little time you have before your family joins you, it will give you time to get to know where to get the right food for your family so that they can settle down properly when they arrive. And then also it will help you to get to know how to make use of the best bus routes. I know when you come in Canada, you might not buy your car that same day, right? It might take you some time before you buy your car and start driving, especially for those people who will be coming with their driver's license from their country. When you come into the country with your driver's license from your country, you are able to use that license for 6 months, after which you need to transfer it to a Canadian driver's license. So for the main time, you will be going with the buses, because I bet you don't want to be going out with taxis, otherwise all your money will finish. And then when your family join you, you don't need to continue staying in that shared apartment, right? Like some weeks before your family come, you should have gotten a better accommodation. By then you should have gotten your own apartment, so you can pick your family from the airport, or they come meet you at home. They can take a taxi, or however you want to plan it, and they'll come meet you at home. So that's why by the time your family arrives into Canada, you see that everything is so sweet, everything is so perfect, and it is easy peasy, as most kids will say now. They'll say it's easy peasy. So that's just the best way and the simplest way for you to bring your family into Canada. If you have any other questions based on everything I've said, drop all of your comments in the comment section. I do well to answer every of your questions. Give this video a thumbs up sign, and you can also let me know the kind of videos that you would want, or suggestions of other types of videos that you want me to make for you. I'm actually on my way to work, and this is the best time for me to make a video, because like I am actually free at this moment. So let me know, and I'll see you subsequently in other videos. Okay, take good care, and bye.
But if I lay down